Sard, all DMM final setups are out. Let's see. Oh, damn. Somebody on Reddit just posted West Ham's gear and inventory. So West Ham has the Spirit Shield. Oda with the Toxic Staff. Voidwaker, they got the Blorva. Well, I guess it's just Torva. So he has Torva and then Fortified Masori with the Serp Helm. And he has the Dragon Bolts with the Armadillo Crossbow. Doobie, Staff of the Dead. Carols. Everyone's been saying that Frame's team has the best gear. Conflictions. Oh. Conflictions DFS. Wow. They have the what is this? The Blood Fury? He's got a Blood Fury. Wow. Blood Fury Fortified Masori. Blood Fury Fortified Masori. Dragon Hunter Wand. Conflictions. They have 5 conflictions. No, everyone has a Blood Fury? Wow. And they all have Dragon Hunter crossbows. They have two DFS. And they got 4 Masori Fortifieds bodies. Everyone has Blue Moon except for Lake has Ancestral Bottoms. I guess they decided to give Lake the Ancestral Bottoms for some reason. Lake has the Fang Kit. They have 4 Voidwakers and an AGS, and they have a Corrupted Voidwaker on Alfie. Eevee and Gnome's gear is flipped. I didn't realize Frame's team was so stacked, actually. Dino's got this Tazar shield or whatever this thing is, this mage shield. Is that what's that good for? Is that mage accuracy? Malediction ward? He's got the VLS, mage damage, treads, Araneas, treads, conflictions. They have 2. Dino's team has 2 conflictions. They gave 61M a real Voidwaker. They gave 61M a real Voidwaker and an AGS, but not. They kind of kitted out Sick Nerd here. They have 5 fangs? Wait, Dino's team has 4 fangs and a VLSer. Why do some teams have empty spots? I think Dino just put like soul runes in his inventory. I'm not really sure what for. For Blood Barrage? Oh, okay. Oh, because Dino doesn't have the 4 slot rune pouch. Bodhi does. Sick Nerd has a 4 slot rune pouch, so he's bringing like an extra set of runes. What's Oda's team looking like? To be honest with you, Oda's gear looks very good. Like Oda has just as good of gear as anybody else. Besides Fortified Masori body. But I think he's the only one. Everyone else is going with budget range gear. Like they're using Carols instead of Fortified Masori. Doobie has Dragon Hunter crossbows, Staff of the Dead. Like, I mean, this is obviously not as good as like Azuriel's or they don't have a DFS. They have Dragon Defenders. They're using Dragon Hunter Wand. They might be the only team. Nah, they might be the only team using Dragon Hunter Wands. No, Sea Engineer has one. A lot of other teams have Purging Staffs. Like Purging Staff is Toxic Staff, Purging Staff, and Zuriel's. It's pretty good. Wait, Foe has a harmonized Nightmare Staff. He's got the Nightmare Staff. Is that volatile? Oh, I don't know what the name of I don't know what the name of it is, but it's a level 1 pures can use that. Corrupted Nightmare. Oh, it's a corrupted one. Foe has a rune crossbow. So Foe's range is pretty weak. He has 2 spec weapons and jabs. They gave him jabs because his range is pretty weak. So he could spec with a jab. I don't know how good this scepter is. Jabs can do big damage on a spec if you get caught off. So Foe has like Foe has 3 different spec weapons that he can kind of juke with. Eevescape has a Blood Fury. Eevescape has a Blood Fury, a Rune Crossbow. He has a Rune Crossbow and jabs. So a lot of people in the bottom row are kind of like that. That's Gnome's gear. Okay, so Gnome and Eevescape's gear is flipped. Eevescape has the Scepter, jabs. A lot of them are in with the Barrow's gloves. I mean, it's not bad. Yo, Laser, thank you very much for the 4-monther. It's Stadius Hammer. Yeah, Stadius. There we go. That's the new one I learned in this tournament, the Stadius Hammer. I hadn't heard of it before I watched DMM this season. I mean, Frame's team has 5 Blood Furies, 5 fortified Masori bodies, and 5 Confliction gauntlets. It looks like every single team got 5 Suffer Rings. Now, some teams have DFSs. The 2 teams that have DFS are Dino's team and Framed. West Ham is using West Ham has a twisted, is that a twisted buckler? Or these Tazar shields. I don't know. These Tazar shields, I don't really know what they do. That's a malediction, and then that's a... West Ham has the most unique gear of anybody. Odium Ward. Don't Perp Rebels have a DFS? Yeah, they gave Perp Rebels gave all their gear to skill specs, I think. They gave the VLS and the DFS to skill specs, and he has Mori jabs. So they actually gave their best inventory to skill specs. They think that skill specs can body people on his row. So Gnome would have to, anybody on the 3rd row is going to have to go against skill specs with a VLSer. Yeah, they want to snowball with skill specs. I think it's a pretty bold play. To be honest, I like this play. I really like this play. I wonder if there's anybody in row 4 or 5 that is like leagues above everybody else that they could have that they could have even went farther down with this strategy. Isn't Alfie pretty nice with it? With NHing? But the thing is Frame doesn't have a they don't have any VLSs. And to be fair, they did kind of do this strat. They did give the purging staff to Alfie. But they didn't give him a real Void Waker. They gave him a corrupted one. Alfie was working Eliop in the practice rounds. Majority of the captains will have to kill 2 people. To be honest with you, skill specs is the most interesting fight is gonna be when skill specs, like round 3. If skill specs loses to anybody, then Perp's team is kind of screwed. Because they're putting a lot of they're putting the DFS and the VLS on Skilly. This is every setup. The 2 VLS combo is tough to go up against. Where's the double VLS? It's got to be Westy's team, right? So Westy has one and Greg. I would say the worst 2 to go back to back against is Greg and then West Ham with the double VLS. These 2 inventories are pretty scary. They both have the staff. They both have Zuriels and VLS. Who's wearing the Arcane Spirit Shield? West Ham. Like, going against these 2 is straight up 2 raid bosses in a row. Also, they both have a Venge trinket. Yes, they both have Venge. Odablock has a Venge trinket on Doobie and himself. West Ham's team has Vinge Trinket on the entire team. I think that Vinge Trinket on the entire team is a huge advantage. There's no other team that has that. West Ham team has extra brew. Yeah, they have 3 brews. Oda has 3 brews. Perp and Skidler have 3. 61M has 3 brews. What's Mutts' gear looking like? This team went Knox Halley. They have 4 Knox Halleys. They're the only team that went for Knox Halley is Reese's team. All right. That's the breakdown of everybody's gear. I'm interested to see how well the Knox Halleys do versus the Fangs. It seemed like everybody else went for Fang or VLS. Foe has no melee threat. What is Foe going to do to melee people? Is he going to hit them with the Corrupted Voidwaker or the AGS? Like, Foe has no melee threat. Foe's melee stats are really low. He's 82 attack and 92 strength. You could AGS bonk, but only from DD. He's going to camp. Foe is going to camp range and mage and just try to poke. And then try to land a nice Venge. Maybe a Venge into a Voidwaker spec. Or maybe, oh, he's got Javelins. So Foe is just going to go mage range. He's really not... Yeah, I mean, Foe's probably got the weakest setup, low key. He doesn't have much melee poke potential, I think. And he's only got a rune crossbow. I think Foe might have the worst gear. Who do you think is going to get the most nervous on this stage? To be honest, I mean, I could probably see somebody like Alfie getting really nervous. But I don't know. Alfie's performed a lot in these tournaments before. I think Foe will be okay. I honestly, like, my pick for somebody who could fumble the bag the most might be 61M. I feel like he's pretty young. And he seems... I don't know how cool he is under pressure, but I would say maybe 61M might shake on stage and Torvesta. Because 61M is pretty young and, like, I don't think he has much experience in this. And he's going to be playing with a shirt on, which if you think about it, he's not really used to doing that. So it could throw him off. It could cut off his circulation or something. Yeah. Any of the no cam streamers like Lake, I don't know, they might shake on stage too. These guys that are not used to being on camera, huh? Oh, Lake used to cam. How about Sync? Lake got the nerves of steel. Any of the hardcore grandmasters, you just kind of think that they're incapable of being shooken, right? Because they've already been in the like extremely high pressure situations. Like having your account on the line like that is just so crazy. The VLSer is a nuke. And for that reason, I still put West Ham's team winning it, even though Foe has the worst gear. I don't know, man. I feel like Greg with VLS and West Ham with VLS is just the scariest thing I've ever seen. Going back to back versus those two players. That scares me the most out of everybody's setup. The second thing that scares me the most is how good every single person's gear is on Frame's team. That is the second thing that scares me the most. And then number 3 would be Dino's team. So I would say in order, I would say West Ham, Framed, Dino, and then the wild card would be Skilly having the VLS in the third row. And whether or not that's going to be big for them. So I got my eyes on this tournament on West Ham and Frame's team. Dino's team third. And then Skilly. The Skilly play is the most interesting thing here from Perp's team. Perp once again doing the entertainment play, gearing up skill specs in the third row. So I think in those orders, that's kind of like what I'm leaning towards right now after looking at everybody's setup, the players that have them and whatnot. So I would say West Ham framed and Dino top 3, and then skill specs for the wild card. No respect for the Oda Warriors. I got plenty of respect for Oda Block. Plenty. I got all the respect in the world for Oda Block. We'll see about everybody else. We'll see. I think they're a sleeper pick. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is what I think the power plays are. I'm biased. I want Oda Block's team to win. I want the underdog team to win. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm cheering for Team O. But I wouldn't bet my money on them. Like, they are not. I don't think they have the odds to win this at all. I think it's mostly against them. You know what I mean? Oda Warriors vibes and joking about how bad they got screwed was good content. Oh, for sure. It was fantastic content. But the underdog, that's what it's all about. It's all about the team that you don't think is going to be able to win, pulling it out. So if they can do that, I mean, they've got the hero story. So it would be the most cinema for Oda Block's team to win. And, I've been on Oda Block's team in a tournament before, and we were not in a good position, and we ended up winning. So Soda made an amazing 1v2 versus Annie and Sony. Oda Block 1v2'd Savix and Alfie, and then me and Soda had a rematch versus Savix, and we won. We changed up our strat and we won. So I feel like Oda Block in those situations, man, you can't count him out. Oda's a good leader despite what Reddit thinks. No, Oda's a good leader, but after being on Oda's team before, from experience, Oda Block struggles with communication when he is doing something. Like when he's level 2'd, he does struggle with communicating with the rest of his team and articulating what he's trying to say. And sometimes it comes out as gibberish, and you're trying to decode what that means. And so I don't think you want to level 2 your best soldier. And so if I was on Oda Block's team, what I would do is Oda Block could call when he's like not being piled or he's not locked in on something. And then when he's locked in, when he's level 2'd, somebody else would take over. And I think that that's a good strategy for DMM. If I ever participate, I want to say you have 2 shot callers. You have one person that's the shot caller, but when they're being piled, they stop shot calling and somebody else takes over so they can focus on their eating and tanking. Because it's hard to focus on tanking and telling everybody what to do at the same time. And so you kind of need 2 shot callers if you're being focused. And after watching DMM, I think that's the way I would probably suggest our team does it if I ever participated. And I do think that Oda Block gets level 2'd a little bit easier than other people, but he's insanely good if you just let him go. So Oda Block might actually be better when he's not in a leadership position, or as a backup shot caller if the shot caller is being focused. So you could put Oda in that seat. So Oda is like, you probably want your worst player, like your worst mechanical player shot calling, ideally, if that person is capable of doing it, because then you're not worried about them like missing as many ticks or anything like that. They can level 2 themselves and not be too much of a burden on the team because they don't have the best gear or anything like that. And so if you have like you're technically like your worst PvPer as your shot caller, as long as he's a good shot caller, that might be best for the team as long as he understands positioning on the map and stuff like that. And then you could have other people that are very good at PvP just teeing off and like focusing on min-maxing ticks and stuff like that.